That's me.
Good eye, Layla.
117 people don't just disappear.
Not one trace of the colony was left.
Everything had kind of a code, so that's how they could tell.
You knew which one you were at.
Our family rule is you always go together. You don't split up. It's
Yeah.
like the #1 rule. Hashtag diesel problem.
This is Oregon Inlet Campground. This one's a little bit different than the last ones that we've been staying at. This is dry camping over here, but this side over here is electric and water. So then you just have to go across the street to dump. So right now we're gonna go to Bodie Lighthouse. You can see it in the background here. It's sort of like the last one, Cape Hatteras, but the spirals are not there. They're just straight lines. And then we're gonna go to Roanoke and personally solve the 500-year-old mystery of where everybody went. Right?
Yes, honey. You can solve it. If anybody can, you can.
Cool campsites. They never seem like they can fit you, but they do. Okay, here it is.
Bodie Lighthouse. There's something really awesome about these black and white lighthouses. I don't know what it is. I just really love them.
Because
They
we're
stick
so
out
used
so
to just
much more.
white lighthouses.
I
So
know.
black and white.
They just look different. It is a special treat.
This is just like the one at Hatteras.
I know.
It's a duplex. Looks cool. Looks like it's coming out of the middle right there, but it's not.
Wow. So there were always 2 lighthouse keepers here staying, which is why there's a duplex here. They had 2 different shifts, a first shift and a second shift at night to make sure that the light never went out at the very top of the lighthouse. I just love that the National Park Systems are using these old houses as part of the story now to be able to walk through them. So one side is actually the visitor center and the other side is a bookstore. So fun to just see the history of the space as well as the life and the science of everything that's around here on Bodie Island.
So in 1848, the original lighthouse was built, but it was built on like poor foundation, way on the other side that way.
Okay.
So because it was built on poor foundation, they had to build another one 10 years later in 1859.
Okay.
But the Confederacy destroyed it during the Civil War in 1861. So then they had to make this one again, the third one, in 1872.
Wow.
1872?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How tall is it? Do you know how tall it is?
I don't know.
I think I read 159 feet. But we need to
159?
double check that.
Yeah.
Okay. The swizzle stick of Hatteras
Versus
is
the-
really cool. This looks a little bit more official,
Yeah.
more like less of a plaything.
Oh, I don't know. I love the difference in all of them.
Oh,
I
no,
think
definitely.
it's really cool that they all have some.
Well, they
sort of
have to
different
have a
design.
distinguishing factor. So it was the paint scheme. It was the how long the lights were on and
Yeah.
off. So everything had kind of a code. So that's
Right.
how they could
So
tell
you knew which one you were at.
where they were at. Yes.
Nice.
So Jess was wrong, of course.
It was off by 3 feet.
156 feet tall. She's usually right, but that was fun to say. All right, so next we are heading to Roanoke. So we're gonna solve the 500-year-old mystery today.
We're gonna find out where all those people went.
You know who's gonna solve it? Layla. I saw you turn around. She's like, he's gonna say me. Yes.
Layla
is our researcher. She's gonna solve it. This is beautiful though.
Wow.
Like, let me climb up on here.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
Look
that's a
at
little shaky,
this.
though.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, shaky, a
I
lot
got my
shaky.
balance sandals on. Come on.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
So our campground is just at the base of that bridge. I don't know if you can see it. So that bridge is Oregon Inlet, and there's a beautiful marina right there. So back to the truck. So over here this is kind of why everybody decided to start leaving London. It was just too crowded. It looks like this is what we want to go see.
That is one of the coolest visitor centers we have seen. There is so much information and so much detail work that went into like all the stories that revolve around this crazy mystery.
Well, it's essentially our American history.
Literally.
And it's a giant mystery.
It is a giant mystery. So even places like this is an old earthenwork. This is not even close to big enough to fit the amount of people that came on the first trip in 1585, and then the colonists that came that disappeared 2 years later never would have fit them. They have never found the fort that was here that the colonists lived in. So when John White left his wife and his daughter and his granddaughter, who was Virginia Dare, the first baby born in the Americas.
Let's talk about that really quick. Why would you ever leave your wife, your daughter, and granddaughter and go gallivanting off? Like,
he was supposed to go get supplies is the story, and then because of war he didn't come back for 3 years, and when he came back everything was gone. Not one trace of the colony was left. To Corey's point, our family rule is you always do go together, you don't split up. It's like the number one rule. So it's strange that he left his entire family, which was his wife, his daughter.
When things don't add up, there's something fishy. I'm sure like this isn't actually a mystery. It's just a mystery because they made it a mystery.
This is Corey's conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, the thing, 117 people don't just disappear. It's crazy, and I guess I'm just assuming that everybody knows what Roanoke is. So Roanoke was one of the first settlements here. They came in 1585 from London, and started to settle off the coast of Carolina, and then 3 years later, someone comes back to try to resupply them, and everybody has disappeared.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure there's a little bit more to it, but that's the cliff notes of it.
That's the gist. But I mean, like
117 people disappeared, and nobody knows where they went. So they do have I guess it's a reenactment?
It is. So they have like a drama that runs here every night in the
summer. Like in an amphitheater by the water, and I bet that's really interesting to watch, but it's not actually running yet. It doesn't start for another 2 weeks.
Right.
We will be gone. But that's, they said May 27th to August something. So if you're here anywhere around then, tell us what you thought. So this is kind of similar to what most people, experience first coming here, where that for the most part, the Native Americans were friendly and helped. It says it right here, Thomas Harriot would not have survived without the help of
the Algonquins.
The Algonquins. So we're on his little nature trail right now. We're gonna take a little loop and enjoy these trees. Look at these trees here.
I know, they're really incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There's so much around here talking about the fact that this was such a different experience for everyone coming from London. Like the landscape was different, the animals were different.
They had never seen iguanas. They had never seen like the flamingos. So everything was kind of new.
Yeah.
I mean, it's new for us.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was really new for us. So we saw it in books, but coming from Maine and then all the places we've been, like,
Yeah, it's like going to a new world, which is why we think it's really important to just travel, even just in the United States. There are so many different things to see all over the place.
I think we're under the perception these days that we know everything because it's been discovered. But I don't think that should hinder you from going out and seeing it for yourself, because it's better than the books.
Absolutely.
Our girls coming back for harvest, and we're gonna make some wine.
My gosh, look at this! House. This is awesome. You know, this is on Corey's like to-do list, his someday list.
I don't even really like wine, but
He wants a vineyard.
a vineyard would be so cool.
The process of growing the grapes and making the wine.
This is pretty neat.
This is really, really awesome.
Look at these roots. They're trunks, or they're vines, but you don't want to call them vines because they're so big.
Amazing.
Look at that thatch. I wonder how long this has been here.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research on it.
Look at this.
Whoa.
Man. Watch, they're not even grapes and we don't even know what we're talking about. FOS, that's a bush. Just a regular bush.
You guys are idiots.
We're great explorers.
Look at the grapes. Only thing that was found when John White went back was the word Croton etched in like some post in front of where the fort was. And that was a settlement that is now Hatteras Island.
Okay.
So Lily's and Layla's theory is that they took a ship to go do that, and it's one of the wrecks in the graveyard of the...
Oh yeah. So
went down that way.
my theory is that A, he got lost and didn't come back to the right place because he found nothing, or B, I think I have a lot of parts to this actually, or B, because these shoals change so often. It was 3 years, so some massive storm came through and just wiped out the whole thing, and then they just moved on. Maybe they got rescued by another ship, or none of that happened. A ship came and they got on that ship because they thought nobody was coming back for them. It was 3 years and it was supposed to only be, what, a year?
Yeah, he was just supposed to come back with supplies.
So they were like, after the year two, they were like, they've abandoned us. So we see a ship, we're gonna get on the ship and leave. That ship wrecked. Nobody knew, there was no evidence anymore. And then part of that theory could include a storm running through after they left and wiping out the settlement. And then there was
look what the hurricanes do to the islands out here.
It was
It's
just
crazy.
a bunch of coincidence that ran into the disappearance of 116 or 17 people, whatever it is. So what are your theories? What do you think happened? And if you've gone to that play, because it's not running right now, what did you think? Did you see it? Did you like it? I'm interested.
We'd like to know. So there's not, because they didn't find much, there's not a whole lot of stuff that you can actually see at the fort because the buildings are gone. So it's going to be a little different than if you were to go to Jamestown, which is the first permanent settlement in the United States in Virginia, where you can actually see old buildings and remnants.
I'm going to be honest here. Up until today, I thought Plymouth was the very first place. That's a typical
New England.
New Englander, we're elitist
We're
over
the
there.
first.
We're the first, but that was 1620.
Yep.
So this happened in 1585 or 87, whatever.
Yeah,
around
the
that
second
time. And Jamestown is 1607. Probably not even the third or fourth. But up until today, I honestly thought Plymouth Rock was or Plymouth Plantation, the Pilgrims. I thought they were the first.
Not the first. So from there, we wanted to come out and check out the town of Manteo, which is on Roanoke Island, and they have these incredible boardwalks that go along the entire waterfront. So come check this out.
So we're gonna take a walk. There's other things you can do in this area. There's other reenactment type places.
Yes.
There's one over here that we're gonna show you once we get around that
That's
lighthouse.
the Roanoke Island Festival Park. You can go to Island Farm, which is a farm that is set up to run just like it did in the 1850s. And then you can obviously go to the Lost Colony drama. And on the boardwalk, you can get up to the Roanoke Island Lighthouse, which was just for the bay inside here. Obviously, it's not a lighthouse that would go out to the ocean, but it was to guide people in here, and there's a little museum in there as well. You see it?
Oh, look at that snake.
Good eye, Layla. There we go.
This is a really cool little community.
I could totally live here.
Oh yeah. So the town and the restaurants are like right over here, right?
Everything.
Okay.
Like right in Manteo. We're a little late today, but there is actually a free museum inside where you can see the spiral staircase that goes up to the lighthouse, and they have a full-size boat inside. It looks really, really cute. Are you kidding me with this road?
Are you filming?
Yes!
Yeah, this is interesting.
Oh my god. Right. That is the cheapest diesel on all the islands so far, isn't it?
It's the cheapest diesel in forever.
A long time. Sweet.
Cheap diesel, $5.45.
Can you believe that's what we're saying right now?
Amazing.
Wow.
So Manteo is really cool. I think everybody's kind of done at this point, or we would have eaten at one of those cool restaurants down there. We have shrimp tacos waiting for us back at the RV.
Oh.
So
I just can't give them up.
But that town is really cool. If you like shops, if you like nice restaurants, the vibe down there, I don't know what it is. It's island, it's New England. I really don't know what it is. It's a really cool vibe. There's a marina there.
The walkways around everything is incredible.
Around everything. And those neighborhoods, it's like, it doesn't even look real. Some of those houses, they look like a movie set or something. Then it opens up to this beautiful baseball field. Like,
it felt like we were in the Truman Show or
it
something.
was really weird,
It
yeah.
was not real.
So we were a little bummed. We watched the show Outer Banks. You know, judge us if you want to. It's pretty cool. It's a mix of like Indiana Jones and Goonies. It's awesome. I love it.
Treasure hunting.
But none of it's filmed on the Outer Banks. So we're like, let's go to the Outer Banks, but none of it's filmed in the Outer Banks.
So the Outer Banks are even better.
The Outer Banks are even better.
I would agree with that, Lily. And I'm really, really surprised at how inexpensive it is for you to be able to come out here if you're already on the East Coast to take a trip and take a vacation with a full family. There's so many free things to do. And this little town was super cute to take like a weekend away as a couple. I don't know, I just think it has a lot of options.
The diesel's pumped. I think it just...
Did it cut you off?
It just cut me off at $75 and it's probably not anywhere near close to being full. So I'm gonna have to restart that. Wonderful. I thought I was mad when it got cut off at $125 and wasn't full.
Hashtag diesel problems?
It's actually not that bad. So that just took another $45. It's a lot of money, but we haven't filled up in over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was about a half a tank. So about a half a tank we've gone through in like 2 weeks on these islands, and we've been cooking all over the place. So cooking means going. I don't know. Is that a New England thing, saying cooking? I don't know. 2 weeks, half a tank of fuel. It's not bad.
No, not at all.
Shoot! Apparently, I'm filming in the wrong direction.
I was like, stop sand. No.
Did you fall on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, I see a step. I see an attempted jump. I see a trip.
I see a fall.
It looks like a young woman laying here.
About the age of 17.
A hobbit lay here. Their hands were bound.
Tracks lead away from the battle.
Into Fangorn Forest.
That's how that colony disappeared.
Exactly. Oh, look at this. This looks like a river, almost like a glacier right here.
Oh yeah.
I think this is kind of what I like about the beaches out here. They're everywhere, so not everybody's in one spot. All right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go Let's go see one of these pelicans catch a fish. They're dive bombing.
Are they all migrating?
Okay, so we've decided that was a lot of pelicans. Never seen so many. And we've also decided we're gonna catch Lily jumping in slow motion right here. All right, whenever you're ready. Shrimp tacos. Engage. Bodie Lighthouse.